Oh, what?
I can't see you.
Oh, I'm right here. I don't know. The fucking internet gets all fucking stupid, and then the camera go away for a little bit. It'll be back. Anyway, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the MMA Advocates, presented by Crossbones Mma. My name is Eddie Law. From the other side of the pond, we got Andrew, and then we got from ABQ, we got Dave, and from Ohio, of course, your boy Fred. And we actually started the show basically before I even hit the start broadcast. Talking about Dana White was doing a media scrum. He hadn't done this in forever, right? And because Ronda Rousey's not doing media, Dana White had to go out there and put his fucking face out for people to see and start talking. And one of the things he said was Tony Ferguson versus Khabib is not happening. So we start talking about whether Nate Diaz, because the other rumor is Nate versus Khabib, right?
Why though? Why will Khabib Tony not happen, Mr.
Right.
Law?
Go ahead and explain it. Explain it, Fred.
It's simple. Like from what DW said, Tony Ferguson said he wants the same amount of money as Khabib, and if he does not get the same amount of money, he will not take the fight. Dana White basically said, fuck that. You signed a contract for X amount of dollars. You have to fight for X amount of dollars. And I don't know about you three fucking bricks, but I agree with him. You know, just because you get a hair up your ass and you won one of those fights and you think you're worth more all of a sudden, who gives a shit? Dana White made the point on the scrum. He's like, listen, man, I've made deals that I wasn't happy about, a la fucking, let's think of all the fucking busts. Crow Cop.
Oh, yeah.
I bet you they signed him for a shitload of fucking money or paid whatever Pride was paying him. And that blew up right in their face. So, I mean, there's been a lot of deals that he signed that didn't particularly end up right, but he had to keep paying that fucking money until the deal was over. So, you know, sorry, Tony, fight it out. And then be a free agent, demand more money, whatever the case may be. I think it's kind of shitty that now you see all these guys trying to be their own manager. Now, fucking, was this Tony's idea? Fucking pay me the same or I won't fight. Like now we're going to be fucking, you know, I don't like this boxing fucking prima donna bullshit that we're getting now where guys are just fucking deciding to make up their own rules or decide to send it out. Now we got the absurd idea of fucking Jose Aldo fighting Khabib, and then Khabib's fucking dad says that Khabib needs to fucking relax for a while. So, you know, Tony, just fucking make the fight, get paid your due, and beat Khabib and get the counter fight, for Christ's sakes.
And look, it's pretty fucking simple. Like, just pay the man. If it's that much of a difference, you know, the between pay and all that, that's one thing. If it's not that much of a difference, fucking pay the guy. Let's see the fight, and then whoever wins gets Conor. Now, the other fight what they're talking about is Nate versus Khabib, right? For the interim title. Now, I was saying that I don't know if I want to see that, but Andrew made a really good point. Is you go ahead and take it away with what you were saying about that fight.
Well, I just think it'd be a good fight. I think that the one thing Khabib's brilliant at is taking people down and grounding them to pieces on the floor. And one of the best things in Nate Diaz's armory is being on his back on the floor. And I don't think Khabib will be as keen to take Nate Diaz down as he is every other opponent he's fought, because nobody can fight in their back like Nate Diaz can. And I think Khabib knows that. And I think that it'll be a far more interesting fight than people think it will be. And I also think Nate will beat him.
Oh, so Nate, here we go. I knew that was coming.
To fucking get spicy at the end.
I agree with Andy. Nate beats Khabib.
Of course you do. You're a racist Mexican, Eddie.
Racist? The dude's Russian. He's not the same white as everybody else.
He's not the ginger hippie, though, is he?
Oh, he's white. And you're oh, look at there. You're fucking crazy if you think Nate Diaz beats Khabib. Not only does he not beat him, but I disagree with you. I think that as dangerous as Nate is off of his back, if a guy like I think it's a different story. I don't think Khabib's going to get caught in no fucking triangles or no shit like that. I think he'll ground him to pieces.
Put your hair and your beard on it then.
Not my fucking hair. Not my fucking hair. That's where my power lies.
If you are that fucking convinced that Nate has got no chance, you're not going to lose, are you? So you can put your hair and your beard on that.
Oh, shit.
If I bet my hair, you got to bet a nut.
Yeah, I'll bet anything, mate.
Oh, shit.
All right, fine. Fine. I'll bet my hair against one of your balls, but I'm not fucking with you, English. I want to see one testicle after Nate gets held down for fucking 5 rounds.
I know that Nate will beat him, so I've got nothing to worry about.
Holy fucking shit. You must have the fucking T spike tonight, Jack.
Let's put it this way. Everything I've been predicting the last couple of weeks has been coming fucking true, whether it's
what the fuck is that about?
Whether it's the fuck bloody they're all pulling out and Kane's not actually going to fight and he put this out as a frenzy the other week. I'm spooking myself out.
Yeah, hey, seriously though, I was just thinking about that too. I was like, dude, everything Andy's saying is coming true. He better just start fucking talking. What the fuck? Like fucking what was the other one too? Like Nunez knocking out
Tim
Rousey.
Kennedy.
Huh?
Tim Kennedy, I got that one. No, Nunez is gonna
That's what I'm saying.
at the weekend.
Now I'm fucking
Sorry, Mike.
Yeah, now I'm convinced it's gonna happen. Fuck. But anyway, yeah, shout out to Mike Jarvis and 5 Buck MMA that are watching on YouTube. So yeah, I mean, so what else happened in the Dana White scrum besides Dana White saying that oh, what's up, Jesse? I didn't even see you on there.
What up?
Yeah.
I was just a fly on the wall listening to the conversation between Andy and Fred there, because I kind of agree with them both. I agree it's going to be a great fight. I just don't see how. I think we've seen people with decent jiu-jitsu survive in Diaz's guard, and I agree with Fred. I think a guy like Khabib is just going to be able to take him down, and we've never seen him in danger of like getting even close to being submitted. I mean, he just ragdolls everybody. And you got to think back to that Benson-Henderson fight, because Benson beat up Diaz and then took him down easily, survived his guard, passed his guard, and was able to, swim around in there in those, treacherous waters, and wasn't really afraid of being down there. I think it comes down to being the Paul Harris thing, where if you're afraid to be down there, you're probably going to get eaten alive. But if you're comfortable in there and you know what you're doing, I don't think it's a problem.
Yeah, to add to that, I think, just the fight itself, that is the fight that's going to likely be set up, as Dana did clarify in the scrum that Connor's mentioned Khabib's name. We know he wants Nate, possibly in a big money trilogy bout. The name he hasn't mentioned was Tony Ferguson, so now we know the issue of the Ferguson-Khabib matchup is kind of thrown out the window, so it's seemingly Nate and Khabib.
Ferguson's being a prick. I mean, it's just a joke. Yeah. I demand this. Well, fuck off then. I mean, what? The other week when Cyborg demanded something, they just went, "All right, see ya, we'll do the fucking fight without you."
Listen.
If they, and this is Tony Ferguson, not Cyborg.
No, true. And I agree with you guys, and also in the sense that how are you going to invest money into Tony Ferguson when, and odes to Dave here, when a guy coming off of short notice fight rocks this guy, and then almost puts him away in a fight that he should have just ran through Lando. But yet, he had trouble with Lando. How are you going to put money behind a guy that you're not really sure is going to be able to deliver on the goods? You can't invest in that. You got to invest in people that are at least reasonable with what their goals are. His goal is that he's going to be the champion and beat everybody. Yeah, I don't think so, man. A guy coming off of sitting on the couch 2 weeks ago almost beat your ass and thunderstruck you. So, yeah, I'm not going to put money towards that.
Okay, I want to get y'all's opinion on something else that Dana touched on in the scrum. So we all know that Kane's funny ass dropped down the fight.
Yeah.
Verdum was talking a bunch of shit. Now, I don't know if y'all watched the scrum, but in the scrum, Dana White said that Verdum has been offered 2 fights, and he turned them both down. Said that he turned the first down with JDS, if I'm not mistaken. Now, here's the interesting part. He said that Verdum turned the fight down because he didn't turn it down. He just said that he wanted 800 stacks and pay-per-view points to take the fight. Now, my question to you guys is, was the UFC wrong or right by telling him to fuck off?
Oh, they were right. Get the fuck out of here. I want to pay half of that shit.
Yeah.
You do it for one fight and the rest will all go and do exactly the same thing.
Of course. Yeah, so it doesn't want to be like the floodgates opening. And then the other second fight that Fred's talking about is apparently they offered him the Reem at 208. I think, and then that would have just prevented, I guess, the JDS Struve fight. They were willing to just scrap that bout and honestly put him in there with JDS or whatever. So it kind of would have changed up a few of the future fights that are coming. But yeah, it's ultimately where he's asking for a rematch now with the champion. So we really don't know what the fuck if that's going to be the likely next heavyweight title defense. And we know we have some killers at heavyweight coming. So I don't know what the fuck. And Andy, I think like I said, Andy's been predicting the future a little bit, like 2-3 weeks straight. So, man, Kane's out. Yeah, we gotta talk a little bit about Kane and what the fuck,
Well, that's on Kane's fault, right, Andy?
Yeah, well, it wasn't his fault. He planned it. I mean, there was clever work behind it. It was very clever work. It was basically, look, I know I'm a bit injured, but I'm down to fight this. And everyone went, oh, hang on, you're injured, are you? And it was like, he was never down to fight. He was never down to fight this weekend. I reckon they knew about that injury or what. I mean, obviously he's got the surgery afterwards, but they knew about what was hampering him the last couple of weeks. And this was just an easy way to just open the little doors and go, right, let's just get them to stir it. And all this, oh God, I don't know what USADA are doing. They've tested me and they said I'm fine. Shut up.
And also, big Ben Rothwell, even I think it was an interview with Dwayne Finley at Flow Combat. He went off and said, if that's not the obvious thing here that's happening, then I've been around the fight game for a long time, and that's just a clear sign that he's just totally waited till the last possible moment to pull out of an event and kind of fuck the card over in a way. That was a good fight. We got 10 fights, so it's a little bit lacking with that bout being removed from 207.
Maybe they made this card cheaper then.
Lacking. I don't think that was a big fight because that's the problem.
Oh,
Verdum is assuming that the card is now taking a huge hit because he's not on it. So now pay me $800,000 and some pay-per-view points, and I'm gonna sail in there like I'm Anderson Silva and save that card. There's no way he's worth that much. He's not that valuable to that card. Because you look at that card, I think the key matchup was what we were interested in. We're not interested in just Kane or just Verdum. We're interested in that matchup. And I think that's where a lot of people are getting their ideas twisted up and, thinking they're much more valuable to the company instead of realizing that they're just a part of a piece that is valuable to the company.
You know where Verdum fucked up at? Was asking for pay-per-view points.
Yeah.
Motherfucker, please. On a Ronda Rousey card, you ain't getting a taste of that pie, Jack. You might have got your $800K, but when you ask for pay-per-view points, you're out of your fucking mind.
Y'all hear this? What he said about JDS? So that he thinks he's gay.
That was weird, right? That whole rant.
That was weird, but that made me chuckle a little bit. But I was like, Verdum would say some weird shit like that.
But do you really think that that's exactly what he was saying? Because it was to Brazilian media, right?
Right.
And we all know that translating Brazilian, even Spanish to English, it gets weird,
It's a different. We're just talking about the culture thing, right? In Latino culture, here's the thing. In Latino culture, you can joke around about faggots, left and right. Gay stuff, gay that, and all that stuff. And you just about my balls, right, bro? That's kind of what they do, right? Except they translated it word for fucking word. You know what I mean? So they with that.
You fucking Mexicans are weird. What the fuck? Listen, they weren't having a fucking discussion about poker. He was fucking saying that he was a closeted gay man, and that's why he keeps talking about it. I don't give a shit what got lost in translation. As long as the words are the same, it's fucking weird. Now, maybe in Portuguese it doesn't sound as odd as it does to us getting translated to English. All things considered, I think he was trying to be funny.
All things considered, you have problems speaking English, let alone bloody Portuguese or Spanish. So I don't know if you can comment.
But fucking funny in English.
Isn't this I think this is the key thing of this whole pay-per-view coming up, right? A bunch of people that don't know how to smack talk, right?
Yep.
A bunch of people that think they know how to smack talk, and then they just put their foot in their mouth and they're retarded. They're just showing how dumb they are.
Yeah, Cody Garbrandt.
Go.
I'm sick to fucking death. Everybody expecting every fight
is fucking. He's got that cute little cocksucker Cody in a major uproar.
Andy, what are you saying?
Waste of fucking time. Waste of fucking time. It's doing my head in. Everybody's expecting every fighter to trash talk. If you can't trash talk, don't expect them to. Don't, because this is what's going to happen. If they're being goaded to trash talk because Conor does it and he gets where he wants, and Nate does it and he gets where he wants, then every fighter is going to try doing it. And we get the Cody Garbrandt situation where the guy hasn't got a fucking brain in his head. I mean, he's got the intellect of a glass of water, this fucking idiot. And he is never going to trash talk. I mean, I can smell blood and I smell it all over you, pussy. Fucking hell, what the fuck is up with this prick? I mean, there's nobody giving him an English lesson. He just looks like he's been, honestly, he looks like he's a moron that's been picked out of a fucking retard unit and kicked through a fucking suit company and just put in front of the media. The guy is fucking useless. And if we expect every fighter to trash talk because that's what Conor does and it makes the game, we are going to get more of these fucking idiots than we are of Conor McGregor's. If you can't trash talk, don't. Just because half the fucking idiots that like MMA love all the scrap because they're offshoots from fucking WWE and all this bollocks. Fuck off with it. If you wanted to trash talk, fuck off back to your wrestling bollocks. Don't expect fighters to do it in a UFC. If you can do it naturally, then fine. But you get the fuck out of MMA and take your little fucking, oh, look, they're all talking trash talk and they're throwing tables at each other. Fuck off. Fuck the fuck off.
It's true.
Yeah, he's right.
Most fighters can't trash talk. Just because you want them to doesn't mean they will. And if they do, they end up like Cody Garbrandt. Now shut the fuck up and watch the fights and pretend you know what you're talking about instead of thinking that everybody is fucking The Rock and Hunter Hearst Helmsley and all this bullshit that you get from your pathetic little lives. Fucking pay attention.
There's no good reason for you knowing Triple H's real name.
That whole thing.
I don't. Who's Triple H?
Hunter Hearst Helmsley, motherfucker.
Well, there you go. That's the first to me. I don't know anybody called Triple H. I know there's a wrestler called Hunter Hearst Helmsley. That's it. So
you know what?
You've got one up on me with that.
I agree with Andy in that we are getting these mouth breathers that think they're intellectuals as well. Cody Garbrandt's the prime example of that. I mean, he can barely walk and talk at the same time.
He's only just come out of the evolutionary pond, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, right.
But I think it's also knowing who you are as a person. I think Cody, in his own little like circle of buddies at Team Alpha Male, I bet you he thinks he's the man by calling somebody gay or, calling him a retard and like retorting to somebody in that way. I mean, think about the trash talk that they have down there. I mean, none of those guys are very eloquent at trash talking anything. I mean, think about Joe Benavidez saying that, telling who was it, Henry Cejudo, I fuck guys like you in high school. What?
Yeah.
Who says that? Or what was the other thing he said? He was telling his fighter, suck him off, right? To suck him off the cage, suck him off.
Yeah, that was weird.
I mean,
well,
like,
they got earlier today, like, I don't know if you guys all caught it, the face-to-face, whatever, Garbrandt Cruz interview deal. Like, it only lasted about,
yeah,
it only lasted about 30 seconds where they were just going back and forth about their Instagram battle with the girlfriend of Cody Garbrandt, in which Dom completely owned him, and it didn't last more than like a minute, and he stormed out of there wanting to get into the next room and this and that. So
what was he saying?
Yeah,
what did he say about his bitch? Something.
He has to keep that flea on a leash or something like that.
Exactly. That's what really triggered him, and then he fucking lost it after that. Ali Abdulaziz had to like hold him back, and he's throwing chairs. So
he said keep your fling on a string. And then Cody started losing it. Little by little started losing it. Yeah, started losing it. And he goes, "Well, I'll come over there right now." And Cody's like, "Well, let's go, come on." And he gets up. He takes everything off. Fucking Ali Abdelaziz's fucking slimy ass goes over like they're trying to like talk him out of it. And then
hey,
out of the room.
Who called him Ali ISIS on the chat? Who was that?
When was that?
Yeah, Dave, that was hilarious, dude. That guy is slimy as hell. He's a total like just
he's a secret spy, isn't he, or whatever it is for the Israelis? All fucking
Mike Russell like researched all that shit and brought out like evidence that he was he worked for the CIA and a bunch of other fucking spots, and people were just like waved him off like you're full of shit. But he had evidence. It was weird.
And it seems like that guy manages everybody too.
He does because he's cheap.
For what?
CIA?
What the fuck? You boys better watch your mouth. Hey, Ali.
We're cool.
I've already got the FBI after me for asking for Donald Trump to be assassinated. So
listen, whoa, take a quick break here. Let me do something real quick. Let me disassociate my shit personally with all the rest of y'all. I don't want no problems with the FBI or the CIA or none of that shit. English is across the pond.
Because they'll delve into your background and your.
Yeah, you ain't lying, Jack. They'll kick through my back door and drag my lily white ass out into the snow. I fucking want no part of it. I listen well, Jack. I take the whip.
Dear FBI, everybody on MMA Advocates wants Trump assassinated now. Thank you.
Oh my God!
No. Great.
God
and the worst part is there's 3 Mexicans here, so
yeah. They'll never believe us when we say no, we didn't. We didn't say that. Right, he didn't say that. Fucking anyway.
So back to the Dana White scrum. The most interesting thing. I don't know if you guys caught it out of that scrum. I think I don't know, not if everybody I haven't seen any tweets about it at all. But the Dana White went about saying that Ari Emanuel and the new powers that be, like, they don't have any control over the matchmaking, the promotion, shit like that. And like, then he went about following up that statement with, I guess, you know how the UFC 206 was on Big Fox for Christmas weekend. He basically said that Ari Emanuel was the guy to make that happen, and that's something where, you know, that's the power of fucking Ari Emanuel. So I don't know why, you know, people didn't really catch that. I mean, I noticed it right away. I said, why would he state, you know, something other where, you know, clearly Ari's the man and he's in control, you know what I mean? He's at the top, so.
Some really sneaky stuff happening with WME. Have you seen the Hurt Business, the latest like documentary, and it's all about John Jones fighting against Cormier and all that stuff. It's like a documentary.
I didn't know that yet.
And it's a really good one. It's a really, really good one, I must admit. But if you watch the credits at the end, which I love doing, a special thanks to WME IMG. Just watch all these little things, all these little news clips and documentaries and everything like that. They may seem independent, but if you look at who the production company is, or who owns the production company, it's virtually all WME. So be a little bit warned about anything that you see is all controlled by them.
Well, I mean,
okay,
go ahead. Sorry.
No. Okay, but isn't that kind of a good thing that we're actually getting that Hollywood polish on this sport? I mean, look at the promotion, like the promotional videos. They are sharp as hell and they look nice. Not to say that they're like the best things that are out there, but they're really nice and they attract those like moths to a light. You know, those dumb, you know, non-fans of the UFC that kind of see something like, oh my God, that looks awesome. I got to see that. You know, that's the good thing about that, but it's also the bad thing because we're also getting much more of this whole problem that I was telling Dave that I would rather not talk about a certain person because they want a media blackout. Well, why don't we block them out as well? Because if you don't want to talk to us, why should we talk about you? Why are we being led to this news story of, oh my God, her mental state, or, you know, she's preparing so well for this fight, and everybody's making their own stories when you're trying to block us out? Why do we need to do this? See, this is the bad thing about this Hollywood IMG, you know, all that stuff, because now we're seeing how well this machine works. This promotional machine can actually work really well, because look at all the stories coming out about her and not the champion, coming out about what she's doing, how she looks, how she's this, how she's that.
Yeah.
But nothing about a lot of other fighters.
Yeah, and true to your point.
You know what? Hold on.
Go ahead, Fred. Go ahead.
I am getting sick and tired of hearing people bitch about that. Now listen, maybe not us, because we are indeed shitbirds. Make no mistake about it. But I'm getting tired of seeing fucking goddamn it Helwani and everybody go, oh, well, nobody's doing no stories about it, man. Y'all do it.
Yeah, do it,
MMA fighting. Yeah. Do it, junkie. Yeah. Y'all got the cameras. Why are you waiting on the UFC to spend these fucking millions of dollars? That's your job. Cover that story. Tell us that story. Give us that.
WME will come down on like a ton of shit, and they know it. WME.
So what?
Cover it.
So what though?
So what is the fact that this is the point? WME will shut people. I mean, you saw what happened with Helwani and the bloody Fertitas, right? That's just the Fertitta brothers and Helwani.
Oh yeah.
Imagine. But that was Helwani.
That doesn't matter. That was him breaking some rules. If there's a rule, if there's a curfew imposed that the UFC have basically said, we're going to let her do it, and all these other journalists start running in, like Helwani, like Snowden, like whoever, they're just going to sit around and say, right, okay, we'll sue you, and as no business, they'll come down on people.
But what I'm saying,
WME, it's a new era.
But for Rousey, sure. No, but Rousey's the one they're building. Rousey is the one they're building the cage around, not fucking Nunes. Nunez is not the fucking one that's not accessible.
It doesn't matter if it's basically what they're talking about. If it's what the UFC or WME have imposed, it's like, no, we're going to do it this way. Anybody that's going to go, they're not going to take too kindly to people breaking their rules. Let's put it that way. And they're a multi-billion company that can put the rules they want in place.
I agree, but what?
I don't think those are their rules, though. I think the rules apply to Ronda. I don't think they give a shit if you do a special on fucking Cody Garbrandt or Dominic Cruz, for that matter.
Well,
if you wanted to talk to the champion and tell her story about being the first gay champion or the first gay Brazilian female champion or whatever the fuck, I don't think that the UFC would conflict that. It's Ronda that they've made no bones that they don't want doing media.
No, but it's Ronda they want the focus on.
Fair.
That's the whole one. The biggest focus anybody could have done with Ronda is go, right, disappear. That is the biggest trick WME could have pulled, and they pulled it. Because nobody now knows what state Ronda's in. We've seen a couple of pictures of her. We really don't know what her mindset's like. Everybody is now speculating this is the best thing WME could have done.
Yeah.
But it's also
Best case scenario, correct? Yeah. And then like I said, I was trying to get to earlier is the Dana White scrum. He talked about the Nunes, about how much money. There's only so much money to put into promoting a fight. When he was asked about it being geared towards Ronda, which this entire fucking card is basically geared towards Ronda Rousey. So like Fred said earlier, Verdum fucked up when he wanted pay-per-view points. He should know that this is something to do with Ronda. They got the media set up all around her. But it really just kind of, it's weird when Dana White was saying that after, 207, Nunes is victorious, he's saying that the world will definitely know who Amanda Nunes is. And it's like, just a couple months ago, she was headlining what was supposed to be the biggest fucking card in UFC history, where she became champion and upset Miesha Tate, who's a common foe of Ronda Rousey. And it's somewhat interesting that he went to that level and kind of thinking that nobody knows who the fuck Amanda Nunes is, where she's clearly the champion at 135.
WME looking for the perfect scenario. And the perfect scenario is this, is that Holly fights the 140 and wins the 145 title.
Randomly.
Holly wins the 145 title. Ronda wins on Saturday, and they set up the Ronda-Holly rematch, and Ronda becomes a two-weight champion. In the ideal world, that's exactly what WME are setting this up for. It's not going to happen, but that's exactly what they want.
Sure. But there's no way that these people are fucking stupid enough to not think that possibility is 50-50 at best. Yeah, of course that's what they want. That's the biggest money fights. But they're not foolish enough to realize that very well could not happen. They can't be that foolish.
You're right.
You're right. Plenty of plans in place, but
we're just hoping.
That's why I said it's the ideal. That's what they want.
Mm-hmm.
Well, sure.
You're right. But going back to that point, I think Fred, you have a point. I think the biggest problem right now is that the media is trying to suck up to the new owners and play the ball game, and instead of why not call out, Amanda Nunes and be like, hey, why don't we do a scrum with you? Why don't we do this with you? Why don't we do that? Take the initiative, because the first thing I started seeing was a bunch of big time reporters saying, thanks, Ronda. Now our trip to Vegas is worthless. What do you mean it's worthless? You don't have Cody Garbrandt. You can't have access to any of the other fighters. You can't have access to the champions. You can't still put out stuff on your website. That's stupid. That's the dumbest thing you could ever think about that. It's all geared towards one person. Go ahead.
Real quick, and that right there is why I say anyone that goes into MMA media is not a journalist. Okay? Because you don't wait for the promotion to give you, here's Ronda. There you go. Do your job. You go search the fucking story. You know what I mean? If you don't run the story, you go get a Nunes story. Go ahead.
According to Snowden, if you're not involved in MMA and you're a sports journalist, you should keep your mouth shut. So, Snowden, keep your fucking mouth shut.
Yeah, Snowden's not a journalist. I don't give a fuck what anyone says. Snowden's not a journalist. Helwani's not a journalist. You know what I mean? The closest I can think of, even Luke Thomas is on the edge right there, and I like Luke. Okay.
Yeah, he's the one that said that. So
one of his famous fucking walkthroughs with Nunes. You know what I'm saying? He could have went to Brazil and walked through her Valhalla and done a whole fucking story on her.
Yeah, every one of these sports MMA journalist companies, they could have all done it. Every single one of them could.
And no one did.
But what did they do? They cried about not getting to talk to Ron.
No, there's a reason they did it.
Yeah.
Or there's a reason they didn't do it. And that's WME. It's a multi-billion-dollar company.
Here's the thing. As much of a stretch as it sounds like that point is, it's absolutely correct. Okay. Can you imagine if the Fertitas or whatever, Dana White Zuffa, ban Helwani. That lasts a night. That lasts maybe 24 hours. He cries on the line for 2 hours and he gets back in, right? If WME bans Helwani, please fucking believe that guy's never coming back. Ever. He can cry every day for 2 hours online.
I don't buy that for a second and a half. Do you think that if Bloody Elbow, wanted to get fucking Amanda Nunes on a podcast, they would get shut down by WME?
Depends what they said.
What's that the point?
I think you're out of your mind. I think they give a shit less about Amanda Nunes. I think they want Ronda coddled. They don't give a fuck about Amanda, period. I don't think
about control. It's all
and
about
you guys,
control.
Well, that's the point.
Yeah,
WME wants us talking about Ronda. They don't want us talking about Nunes. They don't want us talking about the fact that the first openly gay athlete is a champion. They don't.
What the fuck? They don't own the press. I can write any fucking story I want.
No. But that's the point.
Go and speak to Rupert Murdoch and see if nobody owns the press and see what happens then.
Well, no. But here's the point. No. But here's the point. The point that, like what Andy said right away, he goes, they're sucking up to WME. These are the new owners. They're trying to fucking figure out how to be on the good side and not get fucking banned and not get shoved off. You know what I mean? Look what happened to Helwani. Helwani fucks all that shit up, gets banned, comes back. Who's breaking news these days? Brett Okamoto, ESPN. That's what's breaking news. What's the last news story that Ariel broke?
And Helwani's crying about it all the way. You think that if Helwani reached out to Amanda Nunes and WME put a block on it, he wouldn't be crying on Twitter immediately? Oh my God.
What if WME turn around to Amanda Nunes and say, right, we don't want you talking to the press, please. There you go. That shuts everything up.
Yeah, that's an easier way to do it.
I agree with you, but why? Okay, if we're all in this bubble together, okay, and I think we're all smart enough to understand what's happening, right? I agree.
Maybe.
It's a complete plan to get everybody, to talk about one certain person. Why, as the champion, Amanda Nunes doesn't take the initiative to go out there on her own and say, "Hey guys, I'm here. Do a scrum, do a press conference, go to the open workouts." Who was the last person that was a fighter, no-name fighter, I believe, that went to the open workouts, did an open workout on his own? Was it Derek Lewis, the Black Beast, or someone like that, right?
I don't remember who.
You got to get your name out there however you can. But if you're just towing the line, you're not going to get anything. And I think that's the thing we have to try and as advocates, advocate to people to understand. Like, just because the company's telling us who to talk about doesn't mean we have to do that. And it also means that the fighters don't have to listen to that thing either. If they tell them, "Hey, Ronda's not doing the press conference," you don't have to either.
Yeah,
why don't I? I'm going to go there and I'm going to prove my point out there.
I agree to a certain extent with that, Jesse. But if the WME turn around the way they can shut it down is to do exactly that, is to say to Amanda Nunes, don't care who comes at you, this is Ronda's comeback fight, you're making money because it's Ronda that you're fighting, don't talk to anybody. And if they put that in place, no matter who comes up to her, they're not going to get anything out of her. I don't agree with it. I don't say it's right. Yep. What I'm saying is this is what WME are doing. They are controlling the press. They're clever at what they're bloody marketing and a publicity company. They know exactly how to draw publicity. They know exactly how to market.
I don't agree with geniuses, man. Look,
PR
paranoid.
I'll tell you what. You know who I think is better at PR and did a better job about this? Was Mayweather, because he would look at any camera, any recorder, any microphone that they would stick in his face. It could be some fat dude with Cheeto fingers coming from his mom's basement with one viewer on his page, which was probably his mom. And he would look at that guy and give him an interview like he was, on CNN, on C-SPAN or whatever. Like, he would give him the best interview. Why? Because Mayweather understands that it doesn't matter who is writing a story as long as people are writing stories about you. And I think that's the thing that WME doesn't understand. As long as people are talking about this, and who cares? Who cares if it's like one person, 10 people, 100 people? All those people are different avenues of getting the stories out there. Go ahead.
Listen. You boys need to settle down on the blow. You're paranoid. Listen, Ronda got that motherfucking ass whooped for the first time in her life in her last outing. All right? The bitch don't want to do a lot of press because she's fucking trying to focus on the fight. The UFC cut her a little slack because the bitch makes a lot of money. What's the
hang on.
This big paranoia fest we all have?
Yeah, and then also Dana said in the scrum earlier today, it kind of clarifies like what you guys are all talking about Nunes. I mean, she is getting pay-per-view points. It's the biggest payday of her career, biggest fight of her career. She definitely knows that, but she's kind of like a go with the flow. Very, very easy to work with, I guess, from the words of Dana White. So it sort of just makes sense.
Manipulate. That's the word.
Well,
easy to work with is code for manipulate.
There you go. I mean, if you really want to, like the way he said it about people don't know who Amanda Nunes is, and if she wins, then we'll know about her. But that's not the truth, but it's geared towards like
she's a champion. It's just
of course that being
male
the point,
champions in the UFC, and everybody should know about it anyway if you know about it. But no, I agree with everybody in as much as it's wrong what they're doing, but I also know exactly why they're doing it. They are going to control everything to do with the UFC, whether it's little idiots like us, because I guarantee that someone somewhere at some point will watch one of these, and if there's something that pulls up, it'll come along. They'll all be keeping an eye on all these little podcasts and all these little journalists. Don't get me wrong.
I fucking hope. I'm fucking jumping ship on you as soon as I can.
I don't, because it means I'm associated with you.
So I guess we know
you guys are gonna fucking ruin it for me.
So if there's no push for Amanda Nunes right now, she wins the bout in impressive fashion over Ronda. Of course, that push is going to be there. But we know if Ronda loses, we know exactly what the backup plan is, and that's Dana White getting on a plane with Ari and headed to Ireland. So we know that.
If Ronda loses, it's them two getting into a plane and heading to the nearest cliff. Because they have put so much behind this. And
you know what?
This is where I think you guys are kind of off beat with this shit, man.
What?
I don't think that Ari Emanuel's got the noose hanging up, and if Ronda and Conor loses, he's just like, this was the worst
of course he hasn't.
ever.
Of course he hasn't. But look at the effort they put into
it's ideal if they win, but I really don't think they're that terribly worried if one of them loses. Fuck, Conor done lost. So did Ronda. And here we sit. Like, if Ronda disappears, the UFC will not go away. It's not that big of a deal.
Nobody is bigger in the UFC than the UFC now. I mean, the fact that if the Fertittas had still owned it and Conor might have actually been a third partner or whatever, if they just still carried on with it. But yeah, no fighter is bigger than WME at the moment, and it won't be. They basically want a monopoly on MMA, and they want to be able to shut down and control everything, because that's what they've done before. When it comes to publicizing their actors and their actresses and stuff like that, they don't just control MMA little media like the likes of URI or Bloody Elbow or whoever the fuck it is, Jonathan fucking Snowden. These are controlling fucking. These are controlling national newspapers, international. That's where they know exactly what they're doing. They are not dealing. They are people that are used to dealing with multi-billion-dollar press organizations, and they can shut those down just as easy as they could shut down any of us. It's wrong, but they are trying to control the entire. If you look at the entire thing as it stands at the moment, they want to control everything about UFC, whether it's the fighters, whether it's the media, whether it's the publicity. Everything is just going to be controlled by them.
So let me ask you something. I know that people like us feel impeded on because of shit like that. Like, we feel like it's been our sport and in our. Is this a good thing or a bad thing? Is it a good thing ultimately that you don't got guys like fucking Cody Garbrandt doing some stupid podcast and talking about getting Trump assassinated because the UFC was just letting them do whatever the fuck he wanted? I mean, when you look at the NFL and the NBA, we used to do stand and bang, man. We would get some legit guys on there just through kind of, finding them on social media and just kind of fucking with them. Some of them wouldn't even have a manager, and they'd be doing our podcast. Is this maybe ultimately a good thing in disguise that the sport is getting a bit of a little professionalism?
I'll answer that, and everybody else can answer it if they want. But I'll answer that with basically one thing. In as much as, if we think the UFC were doing a great job when they sold up until the point they sold it, and they've taken it from nothing and they built it, why were they over $2 billion in debt?
Yeah,
I mean, that's actually a great question. Why? I thought they were making money hand over fist. Like, why were they in debt? $2 billion of the $4.2 billion went to pay off debt. That's what happened with that money. So if they were that good at what they were doing was just pulling money in. They were borrowing money from everybody to make the damn thing float. There was enough money in it to warrant people investing, but not to the level that they needed. So of that, if you're that good a company, and the Fertittas, I don't know what they do with their bloody business and casinos and stuff, but if you've run a company for 10 years and you're $2 billion in debt, that's not a very good way of running a company.
It seems like they got way over their head, right? So, I mean, that was like the reason they sold it, pretty much. They owed that money.
They couldn't sustain $2 billion worth of debt. They couldn't do it.
Isn't that the big problem though right now with that sale that getting investigated? They lied about the whole situation, right? Like they I think somewhere I read that some of the stuff that they submitted to WIMG or whatever when they did the whole paperwork and stuff, that a lot of that stuff kind of seems fishy because it doesn't seem like the numbers are right. And so I forgot who I was listening to, but they said that it's kind of like when you get asked like what's your annual income and you kind of round up, you know, instead of giving the exact number. And they were saying that that's kind of what the UFC did, or Zuffa quote unquote did, to kind of entice WME, IMG or whatever to go ahead and with this purchase, but that there's some legal things that don't look like are correct, and I think that's where an investigation is going to be prompted up here coming up.
Yeah, I can see Fertitta's getting indicted, to be honest.
Really? Oh, shit.
Right. Because that's the problem. Like, if you're saying we made $600 million last year, you know, and we're in the green, and then they go back and they're like, oh, but $2 billion of this money that we're getting paid for is going straight to debt. Like, okay, but you were 600 million in the green. How are you saying that you're in debt? Like things don't add up, and then it starts to become a problem.
Yeah, it's all fishy. So, but like I said, you know, it's like I said the other week, it's the direction they want to send it in, and nobody really knows at the moment, including them. I don't think they really know. But what they want to do is control everything about it. So, you know.
Pretty much.
I don't know, man. Except for USADA, except for steroids and USADA, and that's what we'll get to next.
Yeah, Josh Barnett, son of a bitch.
Yeah.
USADA.
Go ahead.
The fighter of the year.
Oh, yeah, USADA's fighter of the year. Oh, yeah, 100%. All right, knocked out more fighters and fucking single-handedly than anybody else.
Do you know what the count is this year so far?
Double digits, right? Like 20 something.
22 with these last two.
Yeah.
Wow.
Plenty more to come next year. That'll be double.
You see, who was it that got 17 months for 7 keto? Was it Ferreira?
No, yeah. I think he got less than Machida. Yeah, he got less than Machida.
Yeah, Machida got like 18 months or 2 years, something like that. And
so yeah,
what up?
So how do you guys feel about this? So obviously we got this whole new USADA thing. It's busting a lot of people. Obviously, that's a good thing. We're all stoked. But then you do have the Machida thing, right? And we've had the Yoel Romero thing,
right?
Where
and the BJ Penn thing.
Supplement. Yeah, there's a lot of instances where it isn't necessarily foolproof, and you got a guy like Machida who is doing a longer sentence than guys like John Jones and Brock Lesnar. And from what I understand, what Machida got caught with was basically like a herbal tea, which is basically like little more than the placebo effect. Like it has literally no properties that are supposed to enhance anything per se.
I thought Machida was also one of those guys that basically ratted on himself, and then when the test came back, he didn't even test positive for it, right? Wasn't he?
Right.
Exactly. Yeah. But so I guess my point is, you guys, is where do you guys sit on the USADA thing? It's doing a lot of good, but there's obviously a lot of gray area where a few guys are getting fucked. Has it been a good thing, a bad thing, a good thing?
See, the gray area you're talking about, Fred, too, is another case where it slipped a lot of people's minds. Is Tim Means. He's the first guy to actually have that issue where it was actually a tainted supplement, where there was something that wasn't in the supplement that he was taking, in which he did suffer a 6-month suspension. So, and he is fighting this weekend. So I think that his case kind of has flown under the radar, which a lot of more high-profile guys like Silva, John Jones, Machida, for example, like you're talking about. So it's just a lot of high-profile guys, and then it kind of, I mean, Jesse said there's 22 total this year. What'd you say, Andy? It'll double next year?
Probably.
Yeah, I think the numbers will go up, absolutely, because it's not going to be just a lot of these guys at the top, whether it's champions, older generation fighters, but I think it's going to be across the board, and then we're starting to see that as each card approaches, honestly.
Hey, didn't Cyborg get popped in the first random test that she took?
Yeah, out of competition.
And wait, time out. And Anderson Silva, same shit, right?
Right.
Yep. On the very first one. Okay. Yeah. This is no longer an intelligence test, motherfuckers. They're gonna get your ass. Like, they're coming for your ass, all right? They're gonna wait till you fucking least expect it, pop you, and if you're fucking up, you're gonna get caught. That's what it is.
But that's a good thing. See,
Well, no, it's a great thing. It's a great thing.
To Fred's question, I think it's a great thing, but I think it needs refinement. I think they definitely need to put in some kind of like checks and balances, like the tainted supplement thing. I think they need to have a more streamlined thing where a fighter can buy a supplement, send it to them, get it back, and USADA's going to be like, yeah, it's all good. We tested it. You're good to go. You know,
they do that anyway. Why do they do that?
But don't they charge them for it?
Yeah, and I think
it's kind of minimal. It's not a huge amount of money.
Right. But let's say you're Lando Venata, right? And you're making 10-10 on your first, fight.
Don't
it could be
don't take supplements then.
Then I basically say I'll look at the list of USADA approved products and I'll choose from one of them.
True.
Right, but you see, like I also think that like I had said before, like they should have like some sort of doctor or something after weigh-ins to be able to hydrate these fighters, to be able to competently say that these guys are not they're not trying to cheat. They're just trying to make sure that their brain is hydrated enough so when they get punched in the head the next day, they're not going to have brain trauma. I mean, there's things that need to be modified, because all this stuff is because they took it from, Olympics and from cycling and stuff, where these guys are basically just trying to mask a bunch of stuff that they're trying to do. They're trying to water down their blood. They're trying to do this. They're trying to do that. But fighters over here, they're just trying to get healthy back from a weight cut, like a very dangerous weight cut. And there are things that they can use, kind of like, what was it that Cyborg got caught for? It was a diuretic. There are diuretics that you could use to help yourself, when you're doing a bad weight cut.
Well, you don't want a bloody diuretic in a weight cut, because, I mean, Christ. That's what baffles me. I agree with you.
It's the bounce back, right?
Yeah, the problem that they've got in the UFC is there's not enough weight categories. So you're going to struggle to, what are you going to do? Try and be the biggest guy at the weight category that's 10 pounds below your weight? Or are you going to be the smallest guy in the category that's 10 pounds above your weight? Well, they're all going to struggle to buy. I know there's all sorts of things that are wrong with it, but until they level out and get the weight categories correct, because I think we all know that they need to shuffle it and change the weight categories. Everybody's been complaining about it for a long time, and until they do that, I think that people are still going to fuck up with weight cuts.
But why not adopt what One Championship is doing over there? I mean, those guys, they're doing
about one. Fucking hell. Yeah, one of their fighters died last year due to a weight cut.
Yeah,
we'll agree with that.
Before they implemented their new weight strategy, which is what they check hydration. They make sure that everybody is on point, and they have new weight divisions to minimize people trying to kill themselves down to a certain weight.
It's the thing. They need to change the weight divisions in the UFC, or reorder them, or do something with them, because we've got 145, 155, and then all of a sudden there's a gap. And then you've got 180, and then there's another gap, and there's too much. There's too many weight categories cluttered together, and then there's a big gap.
You don't think that because of the new company that's in, the new ownership, we're now going to probably get this new shift in weight divisions? Because what do they want to do? They want more champions, so they have more pay-per-view, headliners. And I think that would definitely do 155, 165, 175, 185, 95, 205. And then a cruiserweight after that, cut heavyweight in half. Like, those are things that I think we'll probably see next year, be rolled out. Like, we're already seeing 145 rolled out, because, their star in that division couldn't make the weight at 135, but
they're going to have to make a 170 division. But
remember what I told you, Eddie, when that broke. Right. I mean, with her thing, I would probably, guess that she was probably taking some sort of testosterone booster, because that's exactly what that drug does. It lowers your testosterone. It doesn't mask anything else. It doesn't mask your steroid use or anything like that. It's specific for testosterone. And if a woman is taking testosterone, they're gonna turn into a dude and get all the benefits of being a dude without. As long as they lower their testosterone, they're not going to start growing hair and acne and stuff like that.
The easiest way with Cyborg to check if she's on testosterone is to check to see if she's got a hairy ass or not.
All right, Fred. We'll fly you out and go. You can go check.
I think her ass is kind of smooth.
How do you know?
See, very oddly too, Dana White, when they asked him about the Cyborg incident, Dana White said that there was no plan to go forward with like this 145 division without Cyborg. So now after the fact, after this shit has unfolded with USADA, it kind of makes sense what he said. So going forward now with the 145 division in 2017, like Andy was saying, the different weight divisions that may come about, or Jesse, like you said, it's going to be interesting to see what gals come up and try to compete at 45, where all we have right now is Holly and Jermaine, and where a lot of people think, you know, Holly's not deserving of that shot if it wasn't Cyborg. So very interesting that Dana White went about saying that it's sort of just a fight that we have booked and the belt's on the line. But then again, it could have been something much bigger. And like Jesse said, the star of that division couldn't make the weight. So
what a fucking joke of the division.
Yeah.
Couldn't make the weight.
Well, I mean, she's not a star. No, don't get on side.
You can't be a star of a division of a goddamn weight you can't even fucking make.
And all this shit about Holly's not worthy of it and such. It's like they're all, you know, it's like I said before a couple of weeks, they're all saying, oh, she's a 135, or what's she doing fighting a 145? It's like, well, there isn't a 145 division in the UFC, or there hasn't been. So how the fuck could she be a 145? Shut the fuck up.
Right.
You know,
right.
She's naturally heavier than that. She has to, you know, unless you pull everybody out from outside the UFC that has fought in a 145 division, Invicta or whatever, then all the people in the UFC that are fighting at the 145 division aren't going to be 145ers.
Oh, you mean all 16 of them?
Well, yeah, exactly. You know, but my point is the fact that there's nobody at 145 anyway. There's, you know, it's again going back to this ideal world. Do you know what I think they do? If they get to the point where Ronda faces Holly, Ronda beats Holly, Ronda defends against Cyborg, that is where I'm sure that's what they're looking at. And it's never going to fucking happen. I mean, that's their primary goal.
Well, they got to start praying now, because what is it? Cyborg is more than likely going to get a 2-year suspension, right? Because this is a second time. Yeah. So, I mean, that's not going to come lightly.
Well, let's talk about that real quick. Let's talk about that real quick. She gets a 2-year suspension. Is her career over?
Yep.
Yeah.
No.
Okay. We got a couple of yes. Who said yes?
Me.
All right, Andy, why?
Well, when you say career, do you mean career in the UFC? Because it will be.
In the UFC, yeah.
How old is she now? She'll go off to Rizin.
She's 31.
Yeah, 2 years, 33 for a woman. I mean that's old enough for a guy, really. Early 30s, early to mid 30s. For a woman that's been pumping bloody Diana Bowl and fuck knows what's a sustenance in her ass for the last 10 years. Her heart's going to pop before long, guarantee it.
Speaking of steroids, Chael Sonnen passed a drug test recently.
Who?
Worth mentioning. Chael Sonnen
exactly.
passes
Get the fuck out!
Yeah. Where'd he fucking pass it at?
Yeah.
Oh, you mean they told him, hey, chill, we're going to test you on this day, and then we're going to announce that you passed a pre-fight test.
Yeah.
I love how nobody gives Bellator shit.
Yeah, Bellator doesn't have, look, Bellator has a drug testing program.
Dude, listen, all bullshit aside, Bellator is the UFC circa fucking 1998. It's like the exact same organization, just like fucking 14 years ago. There's no drug testing. Goddamn Fedor and Wanderlei are part of it. It's fucking
Indian casinos.
It's like Pride, but without the talent. Literally.
What about Michael Venom Page, man?
What's his name? Josh Barnett. Very
overrated.
Josh Barnett's overrated?
Josh Barnett. No. Josh Barnett failed.
Oh, yeah, unexpectedly. I don't know how all people to fail. Josh Barnett. I mean,
hang on. Unexpectedly, his old ass is still fighting.
Yeah,
that's not expected at all.
If Josh Barnett failing a drug test surprises you,
4th time.
You need to kill yourself or stop watching this sport. I mean, first off, can we just ban this prick forever? Listen, I like Josh Barnett.
Me too.
I enjoy his taste of music. He's the War Master. I dig it. I'm all for it. What a cheating cocksucker this guy has been throughout his whole fucking career. He has been fucking sporadically caught since the beginning of his career. It's obvious that this dude has been cheating the whole time. And all fucking bullshit aside, man, he don't count to me. All of his accomplishments are fucking null and void.
Yeah, where's he at right now?
Where's
he right now?
Fucking cheater.
No, he's in Rizin. Like, he's at the Grand Prix right now, so that's where he'll be in 2017.
Yeah, he'll be
Isn't it cornering?
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, so
yeah,
every drug.
yeah, he's cornering some chick, right?
I believe so.
No.
Yeah, I believe he's cornering some chick. Yeah.
I think it might be the Japanese girl. I think.
Rin Nakai?
Not Rin Nakai. I don't think so.
No, there's another Japanese girl that's fighting on the card. I'm sure it is. I'm sure he's. But anyway.
By the way, Rin Nakai does not give a fuck what she wears to those press conferences. That chick, I mean, you see that shit?
Rin Nakai.
Yeah.
Rin Nakai's got a nice ass for an Asian broad. I gotta say, she's strong looking, but she's got a
She'd
nice
fucking
ass.
eat you up and spit you out, you little genius.
Dude, did you see the size of her arms?
Well, Fred's down to
She
find
can eat up
out.
this big ass dick.
Whatever. He said the same shit to that picture of Tisha Torres and Rocky and Tisha's mom. He was down for all three. I'm like, hey.
Son, at
least Fred's consistent as fuck.
No part of this, Jack. Little tornado.
Yeah,
So she might be able to kick my ass, but she wouldn't be able to handle the venom snake. She wouldn't be fighting the next day.
I swear,
God made her too small.
You've got magnifying glasses for eyes anyway.
I put this big ass albino snake on the tornado. Her career's over.
Oh shit!
Oh my god!
Real quick, shout out.
Raquel Pennington's gonna beat the shit out of me for sure.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Real quick, shout out to Georgie and Eastside Rider joining us here on the YouTube channel. Yeah, so that's just funny as fuck. God damn it. Fred's at least consistent, right? He'd hit Cyborg, go through chicks, Rin Nakai.
Yeah.
You what?
He's consistently sexist. I'll give him that.
Consistent though.
What are you talking about? I'm the one person that would bang these broads. I'm not sexist.
So
you guys are
a bit for
sexist.
charity, are you, Fred?
Of course I am.
Because you wouldn't be the ones that can get it regularly.
Oh my god!
Jesus Christ.
But on the topic of Rizin, y'all,
Rising.
Rising like my deck in the morning.
Oh. Which is rather convenient for you, considering the kids come running in first thing in the morning.
Oh, way to take the fucking air out of the room, English.
So Dave. So what are we talking about? Are we talking about the card, or are we talking about how excited we are to not watch this?
I'm not staying up till fucking 3 in the morning with this shit. And I know. Andy's up right now, and it's fucking late as shit for him. But I gotta work in the morning. I ain't doing that shit.
3:30.
Yeah, no, just a little bit of both. Like whether you're not actually gonna get to watch it, or you're gonna have to watch it after the fact. Because I always try to watch Rizin, but out here in New Mexico, by the time I catch the main event, it's sort of the sun fucking coming up, so can't be doing that this time around.
What is the 1 or 2 or 3 matches that you cannot miss on that card? Is there any?
Crown.
Gabby Garcia's fight with the Japanese wrestler lady.
Okay, time out. I want to see if the old lady dies, or if Gabby Garcia gets owned.
Yeah, because then that'll set up a cyborg fight or something out of that shit show.
My money's on the old bird.
I would love to see Cyborg against Gabby Garcia. I really would, because everybody thinks Cyborg.
That would pretty fun. That would be pretty fun.
Cyborg next to Gabby Garcia, and then see how the size difference between those two.
That'll never happen though. They're buddies.
Oh no, of course it won't. Yeah,
that's right.
Well, depends on
yeah, of course they're buddies. They share the same fucking steroid doctor. Have you seen those?
Syringe.
For sure.
Yeah.
They poke each other, bro. That's what happens. But anyway, what you want to talk about there, Dave? About Rizin?
Oh no, I was just saying if everybody's gonna be tuning in and what fight would interest you other than the show.
I want to see King Mo. I want to see King Mo and that whole tournament they're doing over 3 days, kind of cool. And I want to see Kron Gracie. That's kind of it.
Who's he
Crazy
fighting?
Horse too.
Kron has a legit fight. Who's he fighting?
I don't know, but he's on tonight, isn't he, for the first of the knockout semi-finals? So.
I think so. But Kron is fighting. Oh fuck, it's a good fight too.
And this is exactly what I'm talking about. Nobody cares. Like we were invested in certain fighters, but not in like the rest of this card. This card is just like it's gonna go by us. We're probably all gonna see the highlights, probably, of like some pretty mismatched fights.
Yeah, there always will be. It's Japanese MMA, isn't it? I mean, that's what they do.
All right, fellas.
Oh,
I'm gonna have to bounce soon. Are we gonna do a prediction on the main card? Sorry.
Yeah, you want to give your picks on main card?
I mean, I probably got about 5-10 minutes, but just so we, get a little advance.
We'll get to that right now. We'll get to that next. Conor Gracie's fighting Tetsuya Kawajiri.
That's right. That's
a legit fucking fight.
Yeah.
So, all right.
Too bad nobody's watching it.
Right.
On YouTube afterwards, okay? Because I know someone put that on YouTube, so I'm gonna watch that shit. All right, let's real quick. Let's talk about let's just get around to 207 because of course we're gonna talk about Cruz Garbrandt's bullshit that went down today. More like Cody getting brain fucked. Cruz is balls deep in Cody's brain, balls deep. You know what I mean? But we've already covered Ronda Rousey's not talking to the media. Nunes, in fact, is happy about it. He's like, whatever, I can just focus on training and cutting weight. But Cruz and Cody are doing the rounds on media. And Cruz is drilling Cody badly. Did you guys see that interview that went down just a few hours ago?
Yeah. The head-to-head, right?
That was cringeworthy, but fucking hilarious. I died laughing, okay? Because Cruz was just jabbing verbal jabs over and over again. And Cody was losing his shit. But not only was he losing his shit because of what Cruz was saying, but Cody couldn't come up with anything to say back. Like, he was just repeating what Cruz was saying. Over and over again.
Passwords.
Yeah. String, string on a whatever. Girl might fling on a string. Yeah, okay. I'll beat your ass, buddy. I'll beat you up talking to my girl.
I personally want to see Dominic Cruz arrested by the police and done for battery of a minor. Because basically, he has literally pulled that fucking child apart. In essentially 2 interviews. I mean, the one he did the other week at whatever it was, 206, where he said, who have you beaten? All your teammates. What have you done? Bought a house with all your teammates that I've beaten. He just took him apart then in 2.5 minutes. And I mean, the guy's fucked. Absolutely. I mean, we saw what Conor McGregor did to Aldo before the fight for 2, 3, 4 months. This is going to be worse. Because Dominic Cruz isn't going to try and knock Cody Garbrandt out in one punch. He's going to show him up.
Yeah, and look, it was just a brain fuck of Cody, and Cody was clearly getting rattled to hell. It was entertaining as fuck, man. I mean, Cody's an idiot. Clearly, he can't talk for shit. Nobody out of him can talk, by the way.
I'll tell you this much, man. I agree with you guys. Obviously, fucking Cruz is getting the better of Cody in the ship talk department, no doubt.
Yep.
But I'll tell you what, English, I disagree with you.
Well, of course you do.
And it's not just because it's you.
Come on, I'm pretty sure it is.
It is.
I tell you what, I think that, listen, it's easy to say that Dominic Cruz is in Cody's head, that Dominic Cruz has beat better fight. Because he is, no doubt. And he has beat, quote unquote, better fighters than Cody. He's been in more high pressure. All indicators point to Cruz winning this fight. And that is exactly why I think Cruz is going to get knocked the fuck out in the first round. I think what we're starting to see is Cruz believing his own hype a little bit. And I think he's going to take Cody slightly or maybe even majorly overlook him. And I think that even though Cody's a dummy, he doesn't need to be a rocket scientist to knock fucking Dominic the fuck out. And listen, he's right. Dominic has beat a lot of Cody's teammates, but who's to say that all of them aren't texting fucking Cody like, yo, I fucked up doing this, do that. I fucked up doing that. Like, they all could be, this could all benefit Cody in the long run.
Why didn't they do that between teammates with all the other fighters that have fought from
listen,
Team Alpha Midget?
No, you know what? Where Garbrandt fucked up in the UFC Embedded series, they had his game plan on the grease board right behind as they're sitting there. So Cruz has already screenshotted that, and it had everything. You can go back.
That's how retarded that lot are. It's our plan.
What was it? Was it labeled game plan?
Yes, it was. I'll send you guys the screenshot. I swear to God.
Oh my God!
Listen, what was the game plan? Pull guard and fucking pull rubber guard. We know what the game plan was. Cut the angles and knock the dog shit out of him. Maybe drop levels and get a takedown here or there. That's not. It's stupid. It is
It's not
foolish.
gonna work.
But come on, it's not like he's got some big secretive thing. Like all of a sudden he's going to be throwing fucking spinning wheel kicks. We know exactly what Cody's going to do. I just think that Dominic might be getting a bit overconfident. I think he thinks because he beat TJ that TJ's a way better version.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the man that loves Conor McGregor.
hey, Conor McGregor, your fucking ass. You see what Conor McGregor did? He rode it all the way to the top too. I'm telling you, and I'll tell you what too, because I might have to go there soon. Just chill out, Eagles. I'll tell you another thing I disagree with you on is this whole fucking Amanda Nunes is gonna kill Ronda Rousey thing. I tell you what,
your hair's on the line. Your hair's on the line.
And so is your fucking old decrepit left nut. I'll tell you what. I think
you're the one that needs to worry.
That Ronda Rousey not talking to fucking Helwani the Nose or goddamn Luke Thomas is a good thing.
She stopped talking 5 days ago.
Stop it. She ain't been talking.
What was she doing? What was she doing before that? She was on the Ellen show. She was on this show.
Fucking 8 years ago. That fucking shit.
That was less than a month ago. All she's done is this is the last 10 days. I don't want anything. Now, if you're in such a shit state that the last 10 days has to be that intense, you've done something fucking wrong in your training. Because every person will tell you that the last week to 10 days is basically weight gain. That's it. You don't have to train. You don't have to hard spar anymore. You don't have to hard train anymore. You don't have to do anything because you've already done that. If she's now
unless you're an AKA fighter, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Pretty much.
But to do it the last 10 days is pointless. If she wanted a media blackout, she should have done it months ago when she announced that she was going to come back and said, "No, I'm getting my head down and I'm fighting." What she did is she did the rounds again to keep WME and Dana happy. She did the Ellen show and this show and that show and what the fucking hell they ever pulled her in front of. And then close up to the date, she goes, right, now I want to shut down. Well, if you're spending 10 days in media blackout with bloody Edmund as your bloody coach, you're fucked. She's done nothing different from her last fight with Holly. She's still got, look at the attitude she had on the stage with Joe Rogan the other week. Fucking walking off like a spoiled bloody child. Her attitude hasn't changed, her coach hasn't changed, and her preparation hasn't changed. What's changed about her fight?
I'll tell you what's changed about her English. Her goddamn back. Have you seen that host back?
Dude, she is ripped.
Staring the same water cooler.
She's a judoka.
Cyborg.
Have you seen every judoka's back?
Oh, stop it. There was pictures of her before her fight with goddamn Holly, and she had a belly like mine.
Yeah, she's on weight right
she's fucking
now,
ripped.
Too.
She is going to shit whip Amanda Nunes to the ground and fucking armbar her 2 minutes tops. She's going to fucking steamroll her.
But as I said, your hair's on the
after
line,
Cody knocks out Dominic.
You better hope that she does because all your hair's coming off, mate.
God, I can't. Oh man, anyway, I'm picking Ronda and I'm starting to pull for Nunes. I just want to see that happen. Fucking all right. Let's make some picks here. So, first fight of the main card is fucking if I can pull that bitch up.
Smoker and Ball.
Thank you. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Louis Smoker against Ray Borg. Of course, Smoker. What up?
Before we talk about that, the fight before this fight,
Johnny Hendricks.
It's not gonna happen. That motherfucker looked like. Did you guys hear his media scrum earlier?
No, what did he say?
Sounded like your drunken uncle, like after too many shots at the table at Christmas.
Is that the thing you sent us where you said that he wanted the media to do like 20 push-ups or something like that?
No, 20 pounds.
Yeah. Go back, listen to that interview, listen to what the guy says, what he's doing. Like he can't even fucking stand up. And Ariel Helwani is kind of like mocking him, asking him questions like, "Oh, how do you feel physically, Johnny? What's your thoughts on you still going to hold up to your bargain of retiring if you lose this fight?" So go back, check that out. That's a telltale sign that fucker Johnny Hendricks is completely done. Like he is done. He wasn't done before.
He's not going to make weight. You think he's not going to make weight?
Probably might not make it. No, I don't
listen. The thing that totally sold me that Neil Magny's going to crush him like a gnat was the fact that he had his wife. His wife was the motivator for this fight. He said his last fight he wasn't motivated, and his wife got on his ass and told him he needs to get up for this fight. If your wife has to tell you to get up for a fight, a dude that's gonna beat your ass in the octagon in front of thousands of people, if that doesn't get you up for that fight, and your wife has to basically tell you, "Hey, you better get up for this fight, or else," where's your motivation? You're gonna get your ass beat.
He's too pissed off that his steakhouse failed. That's what it is.
Well, I mean, you gotta imagine he's got a hole in his pocket now.
Yeah. For all the wrong reasons, or all the right reasons.
Oh, for sure, he fucked up. He fucked up.
Yeah. He's not gonna be around after this fight.
Yeah, I don't think.
I can't see him making weight. I can't see him making weight.
I don't think he makes weight.
Why not just go up to 85, man? I mean, I really don't.
Short.
At his age.
He's short, small.
Yeah, he's pretty small, man.
Small. He's old. He's
You think Johnny Hendricks is a thick motherfucker? He's thick. You know, if you see him, he's a big fucking dude. Already. Can't wait. I mean, it's a
Kelvin Gastelum just did it.
Okay, but you know what's the other factor that we're not taking for granted here is that before he was at Team Takedown, and they did everything for him. They paid his bills. They brought in the right coaching staff. They made sure everything was perfect for him. All he had to do was show up and train, and that's it. They did his nutrition. They did everything for him, and now he's on his own. Now he's trying to figure out how to deal with all the steaks he bought for his steakhouse. He's probably eating them. And, he's like, he's trying to figure everything out on his own. And that's where he's going to fail in this
yeah, but
attempt at fighting.
Even when I seem to recall, I can't remember which one it was, but on one of the numbered events, pay-per-view events last year, there was, Hendricks was on it. He was mouthing off about how he'd got the new nutritionist and he got a nutritionist on board, and he still fucking failed. He still lost his weight. It wasn't by as much, but
go back to that interview. Y'all go listen to that. It's sort of like shocking when you hear what the shit that comes out of that guy's mouth. It really is. And it's like, really, there's no way you see the guy actually making it to the fight, let alone winning it. Neil Magny's a fucking known tough bastard.
I think Neil Magny still take the fight. I don't think Magny's not going to.
Yeah.
Magny still take the fight, and he'll still win. Whether or not Hendricks makes weight, Magny's going to win that fight.
This fucking Neil Magny guy. Cute cocksucker just won't lose enough fights to leave me alone. He just keeps coming up and beating people and fucking being relevant.
That must prove that you're wrong again, then.
I'm never wrong. I'm just a little off from time to time.
All right. Let's make our picks on the main event, though, or on the main card, though, because I know Kirby's only got a few minutes left. Smoka and Ray Borg. I'm going to go with Ray Borg. How's Mexican Devil? I can't hate it. Of course I will. If y'all gonna pick based on where you guys are from and all that shit, I'm picking on my guy.
There's no fucking English people in it apart from Biscuit.
Yeah, but if Michael Bisping was fighting, he'd pick his ass too, wouldn't you?
Depends who he's fighting.
Stop. Okay, well, whatever. All right, so I'm taking Ray Borg. Jesse, who you picking?
I think Luis Smoka is gonna be a very competitive fight. I just expect a good fight, man. I could totally go with your pick. Both of these guys very well rounded in the ground game, can do a lot of stuff, So I don't know, man. Luis Smoka for my pick, though.
I'm just saying, Smoka just got owned by a kid coming in at way short notice. Off that tough show.
English, you pick first before me.
There we go.
Smoker.
All right.
The other guy.
Waiting for that.
Yeah. Dave, who you picking?
Man, it's a good fight. It's 40. I'm probably like 49-51 favor of Smoka. Like Jesse, I have to agree. It's gonna be an exciting fight. Ray Borg is from Albuquerque. You know what I mean? He's born and raised outside Albuquerque. He's actually being sued, or there's his management over at a Fit. There's some type of issue with him and switching over to Jackson Wink. So he's got some issues pertaining to that. But in this fight here, we may see some new tools that Jackson Wink's brought to the table in Ray Borg's game. But I think Smoka's a little bit fucking wanting to get on the rebound after that upset of Moreno. So 49-51 Smoka, probably by submission too.
All right. Next fight up, we got Dong Hyun Kim against Tarek Safdie. So Stun Gun is back, ready to throw down. I like Kim on this one. I think if I was like Safdie, I like Safdie. Watching Safdie fight, dude's fun. It's fun as hell to watch. But Stun Gun, I'm a big Stun Gun fan. I'm taking my boy Kim. I'll start here with Andy. Who you got?
When there's a Korean on the card, who am I going to pick?
Of course.
I do like. I call him Sulfadine because every time he's like a painkiller. He sends me to fucking sleep all the time. But, and he's a European, so and he is in Europe. This one, Fred. He's not in New Zealand. So Europeans actually in
fucking Australasia and all that bullshit.
Yeah, the one that I proved to you existed. Anyway, but although I do like him, it's got to be Stun Gun. Has to be Stun Gun.
All right, Dave.
Ooh, it's a good fight. At 170, even though Stun Gun's been around for a while, Tarek Sapien, I think, is like 5 years younger, but I think he lost his last bout out. Stun Gun's got a two-fight win streak, so I think, yeah, I'm with you, Eddie. I've been a fan of the Stun Gun for many years, so I think he gets the job done probably in a decision. I go with Stun Gun. Kim.
Nice. Jesse?
I agree with you both, but I'm also a big Safadine fan, and I think he's going to be able to pull this off. I think I agree with Dave. It's going to be a decision, and I think Safadine's going to be able to take the decision.
All right, Kirby.
I got to go with the man named Dong. Hung Dong Kim,
This fucking
as I
guy.
call him.
All right.
Yeah, you will.
All right, moving on to the next fight. Another guy
He's named Dong.
Yeah. Hey, man, whatever reasons you
I
got
bet
to
you
pick him.
snigger about that as well, don't you? Every time his name gets read out.
I like it. I can't front. It's kind of cool.
All right, off to the bantamweight division, fellas. Another guy that has problems making weight, and he's missed weight like 4 or 5 times in his career, is John Lineker taking on TJ Dillashaw. Look, as long as the fight goes down, it should be a good fight, right? I mean,
Yeah.
you can talk about Lineker's power against TJ's speed, all that, all that stuff. But in this one, I gotta say, I like TJ, but I'm gonna pick Lineker to miss weight and still fight and knock him out. Yep, that's what I'm doing. Jesse.
I like that. I second that motion. And I think as well. I think we're gonna see 2 of the same fights basically play out.
Exactly.
And I think in this one, TJ just gets hit too much. I think that's the crutch that he can't get past. With Dominic, he missed a lot, got punched a lot. Didn't go down, but I think John Lineker's gonna find that chin and put him away.
All right, Kirby.
Nope.
Hmm.
Unlike the Dominic Cruz fight, where I think Dominic's getting cute and sitting on top of the world, I think TJ's hungry as fuck. I think he knows what it feels like to have that belt and lose it. Obviously, fucking John Lineker's nickname is the Hands of Stone. If the prick makes the weight, he could clearly knock TJ out. Barring that, I think that TJ will pick him apart easily.
All right, Dave.
Yeah, so this is, like you said, Eddie, a good fight if it does happen. So there is a potential of actually 2 fights being maybe scrapped from the card, or 2 fighters making
That'd be fucked up.
missing weight, because you got Johnny Hendricks and now John Lineker. That said, I think John Lineker is going to make the weight, and I think it's his time to shine. I think Dillashaw is a bit doomed in this fight. I think the fact that the MMA, the MMA Association, has not worked out for just about anybody. Kane, with the exception of GSP and Bjorn himself, everybody else is kind of getting fucked, and where Cowboy is sort of like back in the good graces of Dana. But this puts TJ in a real weird spot. If he does lose, maybe he fights fucking Uriah in 2017. But I think the John Lineker fight with Dodson, that proved a lot to me, and where I hold a lot of stock into Lineker rising to the top. So I think he'll be able to deal with TJ, and if he lands put some hands on him, I think Dillashaw is going to go out, and I think it's going to be a shocking fucking KO too if he does put him out on his ass.
By the way, did you see that TJ is kind of walking that back now? His support behind the Ma. He's like, oh well, I didn't know I was gonna get in so much trouble, and I don't want to cause any problems for the UFC and blah blah blah. Like, and now he's walking it back after he saw what happened to all his other partners there.
Yeah, all that shit's gonna drop bad. All right, Andy, who you picking?
And is it a number 1 contender bout too as well? We can add to that.
If Lineker makes weight, if Lineker makes weight, he's in there. If not, TJ's number 1 contender as long as he wins.
Yep.
So, all right, Andy, who you picking?
Again, as everybody said, if Lineker makes weight, if he makes weight, and I think he will. I think this is now. I think Dave said it's like his time to shine. I think he's got things right in his head. I hope. As far as Dillashaw is concerned, yeah, he's a great fighter, but going to Dwayne Ludwig, why? I mean, why everybody rates Dwayne Bang Ludwig as one of the best striking coaches around is beyond me. Go and see his fight with John Wayne Parr and see what happened.
There you go. All right, next fight up, fellas, is the co-main event of the evening. We were talking about the fact that we have 2 of the same fight, or very similar fight. We got obviously TJ Lineker, and now we have Cody Garbrandt taking on Dominic Cruz. And so here's the thing. So I was working on a piece earlier for Cage Pages on the keys to victory for Cody Garbrandt. and I messaged my editor after I watched the interview, the side-to-side interview or whatever, face-off, and I told him to scrap it because Dominic is balls deep, just balls deep in Cody's brain. He's got him so wound up and fucked up. When Cody gets in there, he's gonna be so angry, emotional. He's not gonna know which way is up and down, and left and right. He's gonna go in there all wild, and Dominic's gonna pick him apart. So I'm taking Cruz in an easy 5-round fight. Maybe even a finish, but I'm gonna go. I'll be safe with it and go decision for Cruz. Start here with Kirby.
You know, listen, man. Like we said before, we've talked about it already on the show a little bit. And listen, it's hard to argue that Dominic's obviously not getting the better of the verbal exchanges. But I do think that maybe people are making this out to be a little bit more than it is, man. Let me ask y'all something, man. We all made a lot of fun of Cody today, and it's easy to make fun of the dude. He is a bit of a meathead, and he sounds like a bit of a douche when he talks. But have y'all heard about this fucking kid that has been following his career?
Yeah.
That he's brought
from the beginning.
Maddox, something? Is that his name, Maddox?
Yeah, I think it is.
Something like that.
Breaking up or what?
No, we're good.
My bad. My shit's breaking up. I couldn't hear y'all.
It's all good. Now, you're talking about that little kid, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Maddox. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, anyways, my shit's fine. I don't know what the fuck's going on. I can't even see you person no more. Anyways, fucking listen, I think that this shit means a lot to fucking Cody, man. I don't think that Dominic is in his head that much. He's winning the better of these verbal exchanges, but I don't think that Cody goes home at night and cries because fucking Dominic made him look bad. I feel like Cody feels like this is fucking his destiny to be here. I think that the dude's not just a complete fucking idiot. And I think that he's super fucking focused on this fight. And Dominic is a bit more relaxed.
Did you say that you don't think Cody is a complete idiot? You say you don't think he is?
No, seriously.
You don't think he's a complete idiot?
I don't think he's a complete idiot.
What the fuck are you smoking? The guy doesn't even know which fucking way round to put his underpants on in the morning. He has to be told which way is up when he gets out of bed. He's a fucking moron.
Listen. The guy has got to a very fucking high point in the sport. He's not a fucking functioning retard. The dude knows what he's doing.
High functioning.
I think he's going to surprise people. I think he's going to fucking knock Dominic out. Dominic's got tagged too.
I want what you're smoking. I really do.
Dominic has been tagged in fights too, man. You guys act like he didn't get hit by TJ.
No, it's true. No, you're right.
He has been tagged. If Cody hits him, he will fucking sleep. Let me ask you something. How many fucking punches do you think that Dominic is going to have to land on Cody to knock him out versus how many Cody has to land on Dominic to even change the complexion of the fight? Okay? Yeah, Dominic can dance around for a long time, but can he do it for fucking long enough and avoid getting socked one good time? I don't think he can, man. I think this is where he's an inch short and he gets clipped and drops hard.
All right, Jesse, who are you picking?
I'm picking Dominic, and I'm gonna address exactly what Fred just pointed out. Go back and listen to what TJ Dillashaw was talking about. He said he hit Dominic with some heavy bombs that more than likely would have knocked out most other guys. And he said the one thing he can definitely say about Cruz is that he can definitely take a shot, and he doesn't absorb as much damage, so that he's able to absorb those huge shots, even deep in the fight. And that's what TJ, himself was admiring about Cruz, that he was able to absorb those shots, not really, show too much that it was affecting him, and walk right through it.
All due respect, TJ does not pack the power that Cody does.
That's very true. Very
true. No, that's true. That's true. No, and I understand that, but it's also that you have to remember, TJ was moving, he was cutting angles and everything, and he was very mobile. And he was still able to pack a punch on him and not put him, not even stun him. Now, think about the way that Cody fights. Cody fights very, very stiff, very, very just trying to set up his one punch to put you away. And Cruz has been in this situation before with guys that are just trying to put the one shot on him, and they're not successful. Why? Because he moves so much. He knows where the angles are coming from. He knows all that stuff. And I don't think Garbrandt has the fighter IQ to be able to. He
doesn't have any IQ. He doesn't have, whether it's a fighter IQ, he doesn't got none.
I just don't think he's on that IQ level of, like, you know, of TJ or even Uriah or any of those guys. I think he's a power puncher. He's just a very, very one-dimensional fighter that has wrestling, has other skills, doesn't like to use it, just likes to knock dudes out. And if he's not going to come out to this fight with all his tools, he's just going to look foolish and probably walk into a punch just like Mizugaki and get knocked out.
All right, Dave, who are you picking?
Yeah, some good stuff from Jesse there. I really do agree with that. I think the fight IQ is going to play into this fight all in all, because Dominic Cruz is just a true wizard in there. The Dillashaw fights you guys are referencing, I mean, Cruz is in pretty bad shape too. He wasn't 100% in that fight, and he's still
not at all.
pretty. He picked apart TJ easily, in which Uriah Faber talked shit about his physique and that, and then what did he do? He went and pieced up Uriah right after that. So where I think Garbrandt has the advantage in the fight is probably the speed in his hands, where I don't think TJ or Uriah were definitely not as fast. I think in the past, Uriah was really, really fast, and that's where he found a lot of his success against Dominic Cruz. But once that faded, then you've seen Uriah sort of fade away. But then again, he's still, as we've seen a week or two ago, that he's still top notch and can compete in there with the top guys at 45. But Cody Garbrandt, it's just going to be a lesson learned competing against the Dominator in there. And Dominic's made a living off beating guys that taught him everything that he knows. So he'll exploit that. And I think with all this fuel to the fire with the media and that shit flaring up earlier, I think he'll be headhunting in there, and it'll play right into Dominic Cruz's hands. So Dominic look like, I think if you really want to be shocked, guys, you're gonna see. Yeah, I think you're gonna see Cody Garbrandt finished on Friday night by Dominic Cruz. So.
Fred, real quick question. I'm just kind of curious about if Garbrandt is actually able to land the one huge knockout punch. Okay, like, where do you think he goes from here? Because don't you think that he's so early in his career that he doesn't have that I don't know, kind of like mystique, that aura of a champion? And don't you think his title reign is going to be too short? Don't you think this is because this is what I feel. I feel if Garbrandt, you give him like 2-3 more fights, I think he might evolve into being something better than what he is now. I kind of think this is too early for him. What do you think?
Maybe, but no. Shit, if he comes out and knocks out Dominic Cruz, I think he's on top of the world. He talked all this shit. He backed it up. I mean, he's not quite Conor McGregor. Now he's got to look. Listen, if English hates him, that means he's doing something right.
He's got that Conor McGregor look on. That's what he's got going.
He's pissing people off. You know what I'm saying? I mean, listen, you're probably right. He's a bit early in his career. He a few more fights and a little bit more seasoning probably wouldn't hurt him none. But if he gets the right performance Friday night, nah, none of that'll matter. He'll be. I wouldn't quite say he'll be a star, but he'll be good to go for his next fight.
All right, Andy, who you picking?
Really, it's not that difficult. Just a quick question. What happened with Mike Perry the other week? The street fighter with the one-punch knockout.
You got knocked the fuck out.
Got taken apart.
He did.
Yep.
And this is exactly what's going to happen tomorrow. It's Friday.
Yeah.
Cody's got no chance. Absolutely none. He's a one-punch merchant. He's either knocked everybody. I mean, I think only one of his fights has gone to decision anyway. If he can't knock you out, he's fucked. And although Dominic has been in with some people that have hit him quite a lot, go back and watch how he rides those punches. He can ride them really. So they don't hit him as hard as people think they do, because he's so quick at riding a punch. I think Cody Garbrandt's going to get shown up for the absolute fucking moron that he is. I mean, Jesse talks about fight IQ. Like I say, he doesn't even know how to put his shoes on in the morning. He's got slip-on shoes because he can't do laces up. The guy, he has to, he's got people to do the buttons up on his shirt because he can't work them out. He's a fucking moron. And unless he can punch your head off, he hasn't got a clue. And Dominic will just completely destroy him. I mean, he's got him mentally. And then he'll have him physically and emotionally on Friday night as well. Garbrandt's got that. Garbrandt got absolutely no chance.
You know what, guys, too. Also, because it's fitting that it's on the card that we talked about it possibly being a number one contender slot. Say John Lineker is impressive, defeats TJ. We're going to be talking about this sort of the same type of fighter up against Cruz, possibly in his next matchup. Say they're both winners on Friday night. So similar fight. Maybe Lineker's a notch above Cody Garbrandt, but they're similar guys. And I think
that's the fight I think they should have given Cody first. Is Lineker.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah,
yep.
I think.
Well, they tried. Lineker couldn't make the fight. Lineker got injured. Yeah. So I thought they should have rebooked it. But I mean, look. After this fight goes down and Cody loses, make that fight. Or him, TJ, doesn't matter to me. But
there's no point, because if Lineker beats TJ, he'll be going straight to Dominic anyway. So.
Good point.
You cute pricks are cursing Dominic Cruz.
So whatever. Can we get to the main event, motherfucker? God damn.
Y'all are going to get that boy knocked out.
Whatever the fuck. All right.
Yeah, all right. Your hair's already going, so you got nothing else.
Oh, shit. All right. Well, now since we talk about the hair bet, main event time, ladies and gentlemen. Amanda Nunes is a defending it. You wouldn't think of it. You would think Ronda Rousey's a fucking champion with the way they're promoting this shit. But Nunes is defending her belt against Ronda Rousey in the return of Rousey. I'll let Jesse here go first. Who you picking?
Man, it's you don't want to say that you were the person to doubt somebody, but I really doubt Ronda Rousey is anywhere near what she used to be. You know, she may be physically fit. She may have put on more muscle. She may be in better shape, but I just don't think you can get over the hurdle of getting KO'd in the octagon like that in front of a lot of people, and then basically shut everything down, hide away, and come back better than you were before. I just don't think that happens. I think you need to kind of be out there in front of people, just experience this loss, and hit it head on, not hide away from it. And hiding away is just not going to help her at all. And I think Amanda Nunes is going to take advantage of it. And I mean, we saw what she did to Miesha Tate. I just don't see how Ronda's going to be able to weather that storm very well. Even if she does, I mean, Nunes still has maybe 1-2 rounds in her. I don't think Ronda can survive 2 rounds of a beating or even attempting to dodge punches like that. And especially with her coach in the back, screaming at her that she's doing great, getting punched in the face, and everything's good. With no advice being given to her, he's probably going to give the same advice he gave to, Travis Brown. Yeah, you're doing great. Go out there, beat his ass, punch him. Like that does
Drop
nothing
him.
For you, so.
Drop him.
Yeah, exactly. So with low IQ in your corner, and then you have no real skills besides taking people down, judo throwing them and arm barring them, I just don't see how she wins this fight. So Amanda Nunes and still.
All right, for Kirby.
Listen, I think a lot of you people are doing a lot of assuming about a lot of shit here, man.
I'm assuming you're going to have no hair on Saturday.
I'm assuming. You know what they say about assuming. Listen, I think you're wrong, Jesus. I think that you can lose on a grand scale, be embarrassed, and go back. This is basically what Conor McGregor did, you guys.
Yeah, but he didn't
fuck
off for a year, did he?
No, it's
he
not.
Fuck off for a year and
listen,
he went, I want that fight.
He did not. Listen, he did not fuck off for a year, but he didn't want to do media. He wanted to concentrate on nothing but the fight.
He wanted the fight immediately. Ronda fucked off, sulking in her own corner, sucking her thumb.
You don't know what she was doing. You wasn't up her asshole. She might have been off sucking fucking cocks in Bermuda for all you know, or licking pussy.
She was.
In
Travis
Arabia.
Brown's.
Oh, stop it. Travis Brown's got a tiny penis. He's a beard. Listen. And you alluded to it, Jesus. So here's the deal. All jokes aside, could fucking Nunes come out and steamroll Ronda in the first couple minutes, catch her with a big punch and start her? Sure. Obviously she could. The longer this fight goes on, if Nunes does not do that, if you hear that fucking bell round for the bell ring for round 3, fucking English, you better start shaving your nuts. Because Amanda Nunes will run out of gas and she will be swimming with sharks. All Ronda has to do is close the distance and make her grapple. She doesn't have to submit her in the first 5-10 minutes. She just has to make her grapple.
Wasn't that all she had to do against Holly? Keep it. It's like
Listen, styles make fights.
Right,
Styles
okay.
make fights. Styles make fights. And Holly's a big girl.
Holly's a striker.
Holly's a big girl. That's why she's at 45.
Oh, hang on. She's a striker as well. Ah, right.
Oh, she's a bloody striker as well. Oh, look at Jimmy Damas. Man, I'm fucking telling you.
This is a guy terrified that his hair's going. That's what it is.
Oh, stop it. Listen, you guys are counting Ronda Rousey out. Listen, she lost one fucking fight. You pricks act like she went on a 4-fight losing streak, a la Matt Brown fucking
No.
2013.
No. We're acting the way she reacted to her loss. Because Conor McGregor right away said what? I want that rematch. I can do better. I'm going to beat this guy one way or another. What did Ronda do? She waited. When Misha won the title, back to work. Time to get back in the gym. Why? She couldn't beat Holly Holm. She knew it. So she waited until somebody else got the title.
You're not the fucking New York media, and she needed some time off. She's ready to come back.
On.
The bitch is back. You guys put way too much thought into this. She disappeared for a year. Listen, if she was that nervous or scared about fighting, she ain't got to come back and fight now. She don't gotta. She chose this shit.
Too much
chose
money.
to come back and
Wait.
Don't stop it with the money. She can be off making money in Hollywood. She does not have to fight.
In what movie? Nobody wants her. Nobody wants her to be a
what are you,
star
a
in
Hollywood
movies?
agent now? Fucking Ari Gold, her personal friend. Of course she could go do TV or commercials in fucking Bangkok, Japan. She could be getting paid. She doesn't have to fight this fucking broad this day for money. Ronda Rousey could go do something else and get paid.
What's she done in the last year? What money has she earned in the last year?
I don't know because I'm not a Hollywood agent, but I'll bet you she's earned some money.
What fucking films and shit has she been in? Hollywood agent.
I don't know. You're the bloody film
buff.
bluff.
Need the money. She hasn't fought. She basically hasn't earned anything for a year. She's done a little.
She can do mall appearances in the middle of America to Trump fans.
She needs the money. That's why she's coming back. She thinks she can win. She needs the money. She thinks it'll be quick, so she's coming back.
She thinks she can win. That's why she's coming back. She thinks she can beat this fucking broad.
She thinks that's her problem. She honestly still thinks she doesn't think she lost against Holly. That's what's in her head. She thinks she's.
That's not a problem.
Right. Yeah.
That's how champions think.
No, it isn't. Oh, right, okay.
Of course it is.
Next time you go gobbing off about your little.
I'm a champion. I know this shit.
When you go on about the little Irish goblin saying that his motivation, blah blah, it baffles me. The two are completely different. Ronda gets beaten and runs away like a fucking bitch, and Conor gets beaten and says, "Oh, I'm fucking having this." So I don't understand how you can even compare the two. They're complete. Ronda has got the biggest attitude problem of any UFC fighter. She always has had, from the minute she came into the UFC to the minute she got her head fucking kicked clean off of her body by by Holly. She's got an attitude problem. She's still got an attitude problem. She still thinks she's invincible. She still thinks that everybody's got to beat her. This isn't.
And
the
it
case.
won't end.
She has to beat Nunes.
Yeah, but it still won't end with her beating Nunes as well. It sets up like a perfect type deal where she's gonna say "fuck everybody, I'm back," whatever. I see it exactly playing out that way. Say she does win the fight, and I think if she does win the fight, it won't be in the second round; it'll be in the first. And I think Nunes will, if she wins the fight, it actually will be in the first as well. So I think this fight's going to get real nasty, real quick. If it goes to the ground. I got Nunes, but I think she gets it done early, like I said, on both sides. But it has all the makings with the media blackout, all that type of shit, where Ronda could just be like, "Fuck all you motherfuckers, Joe Rogan, whoever, anybody that talks shit," and she's back, and then it sets up a Holly Holm cyborg fight or whatever in the future. So
she's too mentally fragile. She always has been. That's her.
You know who she won't be fucking? Me and my pretty hair, because I fucking called it.
Want to bet? And I don't believe it's going to be the first or second round either. I think what has Ronda not got more than anything? No cage experience in the last year. Her stamina would have gone. Everything. You can't prepare for a 5-round fight just by running up and down the streets. Everybody knows that, and that's essentially all she's been. She's lost a bit of weight. She's put a bit of muscle tone on. Well, to be honest, it was the size of her. If she'd have gone in, she needed to. From what I don't know, man. A couple of months ago. Yeah, a couple of months ago, she was.
Oh yeah, she's a big chick before.
And now she had to cut weight. There was no way about it. And don't get me wrong, I still think she's a great fighter. I wouldn't even put her in the top 3 in the UFC now. That's how bad I think she's fallen. I think she was ahead of the game. Everybody caught up with her, they beat her, and they've left her behind. And she's now struggling to try and regain that kind of, fuck off, Ronda. Go and do what you want with WME because you are going to get battered on.
Jesus Christ.
And we don't want
to
Coach Edmond to look
pussy
like
one time or something.
Oh,
You sound like a bitter ex.
You know what, Fred? Though I'll give you this though. She might still have good sparring in her home though, with Travis Brown. You know, so she might have to fight him off here and there. So.
How you gonna come with that?
Have you seen her striking? They're even worse than she was last year.
Yeah.
Worse.
No, Coach Edmond might look like a genius on Friday night. You never know. Crazier shit has happened this year.
If he looks like a genius, I'll take both my nuts off.
He's going to get the last laugh, like I told Eddie. And if Ronda wins, that motherfucker is going to be yelling some shit in the cage or outside the cage.
So, but basically, the 11 fights that she won consecutively, they were all down to Edmond. I don't know. Yeah, right. Okay. Fucking her.
Yeah.
It'll be 3rd or 4th round, and Nunes will just beat her into a pulp, and that'll be it. Because I don't think she's got the stamina. I don't think she's got the fight IQ. I don't think she's got the motivation. She certainly hasn't got the training background. None of this. None of these things that somebody that is that determined to win will have. So say goodbye.
And Andy's been right too. Yeah, Andy's been on the fucking money. So remember that shit right there.
See, and that's what makes me kind of nervous about my pick. Now, as much as I would love to see a freshly almost bald Fred Kirby on the next Advocates here.
No, it's all coming off.
Okay, a bald Fred Kirby. There's just something about him, man. She's coming back. Okay, I get it. Mentally fragile, for sure, right? Especially, like, what was it? They played actually, like, she did a little bit of shit for UFC, a little bit of a media, a little video she did. She was like, I'm not doing any, I'm not worried about media. I don't care about media. I don't care about this.
Fellas. Sorry, Eddie. I got to go, boys. I got to go. I'll holler at y'all next time. Just tell y'all.
Have a good one.
Enjoy seeing your barber on Saturday morning.
Oh, jeez. Oh, so I think he heard, too. That's fucked up. Anyway, I'll just make my point. Is I just think Ronda is at this point, like, there's no distractions for the most part. She doesn't do media. She doesn't have wasted energy and all that stuff. We don't really know anything, right? Like, we're kind of assuming that she hasn't been doing anything. You know, look, yeah, I saw the video of her shadow boxing. That was still awful. I just, please, I hope this fight doesn't stay on the feet if she's gonna win. But I do think I don't think she's gonna change anything. She's gonna charge forward, try to get the fight to the ground as fast as possible, and try to armbar Nunes, who is a black belt in jiu-jitsu, I'm pretty sure, and knows how to defend a fucking armbar. You know what I mean? So I'm almost talking myself out of my fucking pick. But there's something about about Ronda Rousey coming back that I think she's gonna come back, get her belt, right? That's all she's focused on, and bail the fuck out. Like, she already has all the money, she has all the fame. To her, all that matters is the belt, right? That's what she was saying. You have all these people doubting her and whatnot, and I like to go against the grain anyway. Everybody that I've been talking to has been picking Nunes. Everybody's picking Nunes. So just naturally, I got to go the other way. I just have to. So I'm taking Ronda on that one. It's not the most confident pick ever. No, it's not like my Cruz pick, which I know he's gonna win. But you know, I'm gonna take Ronda and hope for the best. Luckily, I'm not making no bets in this shit because I'm not stupid like Kirby. So yeah. Anyway, not to mention I don't have much hair anyway. So. And
will we see any other fights drop out of this card? We only got 10 to fucking work with. Like,
I'm only nervous about the Hendricks fight. I think
and Lineker might go.
You know what? I think the Lineker fight would drop before the Hendricks fight would, because I think Magny will take that fight. But the thing with the Hendricks is that he's missed weight so many times. The fucking the doctors could be like, no, you're an idiot. I don't give a fuck if Magny accepts that you're sitting down. They could actually do that.
Yeah, and go Lineker, watch that interview, and then you'll think twice.
No, I watched it. He looks fucked up. He looks super fucked up.
On his chin, and he's like that, then there's a high chance they won't even let him fight if he's in that state.
Yeah, he looks highly fucked up. Like, I watched it like a minute or so of that interview, and he seems like it's almost like he's already punch drunk. You know what I mean?
Do you know what? I reckon we'll see him on the next night, 911 or whatever. He's being chased down a highway in a 4x4 with a gun, threatening to shoot himself in the head. That's what's going on with Hendricks.
Yeah, man, all these guys cutting weight the way they do and shit, make it or miss it. You're cutting the years off your life. So It's
Wow.
it's scary. All right, fellas. Anything else we want to talk about before we go?
Rising's on in 1 hour and 50 minutes.
All right. So if you're still awake in about an hour 15 minutes, pick it up. I gotta work at 3 a.m. my time. So whatever time that is for you over there. But
11 a.m.
there you go. I gotta go to work at 3.
MMA Cunt of the Week, Dylan Dennis.
Jonathan Snowden.
Okay, well, 1A, John Snowden. 1B, Dylan Dennis for being a jackass. He thinks he's Conor McGregor. That pisses me the fuck off. Like he's picking up the attitude. We don't know if he has a skill yet, but he's picking up the attitude for sure.
Oh, also, who's that other fucking fuckwit, Skip somebody or other?
Skip Bayless.
They're saying that Mayweather should never take the fight because McGregor's the best combat sports guy on the planet. He must be smoking the same stuff that Fred's been on.
Well, Skip Bayless is an idiot too. So.
And then a curtain call, Goldie. He's our idiot. But he's on the way out. And
he's our asshole, but I mean, he's an asshole, but he's our asshole. That kind of guy.
And if we all see Jim Rome or some other fuckhead like
Jim Rome.
We're all gonna be pissed off about that. Yeah, Andy, you'll see these motherfuckers. Somebody's gonna show up.
Don't look them up. Don't look them up on YouTube. You just get mad.
Because the simple solution is I'll just turn the fucking volume down. I don't give a shit.
See, right? I'm muted. I mute it sometimes. When Kenny Florian's calling fights, I mute that shit. I don't mind Kenny Florian.
He talks such shit sometimes, Goldberg.
Yeah.
It's fucking unbelievable. So, and people moan the bitch about him, but it's one of those. It's like USADA. Oh, these drug cheats are ruining the sport. Now USADA cutting anybody. Oh, they're fucking ruining the sport. It's like Goldberg. Oh, he fucking pisses me off. Get rid of Goldberg. Oh, what the fuck do you want, you pricks?
Yeah, wait till Rogan leaves.
Stick to one decision and fucking stand by it.
Yeah, wait till Rogan leaves. Okay, everyone that hates Rogan now because he's biased and all that shit, they be like, Rogan was so much better.
I dread to think what it's going to be like with the Ronda fight. Fuck.
Oh, it's going to be bad.
All right, boys, I got to go. I got to get back to work.
What?
All right, man, thanks for coming on.
All right, later, guys.
Later. Yeah.
I was going to say the next guy to drop, I'm going to make a bold prediction. Big John. He's out for UFC.
Oh, he's already said Big John's not part of the UFC. He's just a ref. But
he's like a significant figure like Goldie. I think he's going to be a guy that's likely out. Yeah.
I think he's just going to retire soon. I think he said it not too long ago that he's not going to be doing as much longer. So I think you're right. You're probably right on the money with that.
I reckon one person's going to go before he does. I reckon Bruce will go.
Ooh, now that'll be we've seen them all go. Bruce Buffer, if he goes too, then that's kind of.
They would probably get that Martinez dude that does the fucking Invictus.
Does a great job as well too.
I like him. He's cool.
Yeah, he does Glory and a few others as well.
Yeah, he does good work. I don't mind.
I can see him going.
The one guy I do not want the UFC to hire, and look, I know he's a really nice guy and all that shit from all accounts. TJ DeSantis, you guys have ever heard him speak?
Yeah.
He's so boring. He makes you want to blow your fucking brains out. He's boring as fucking fuck. Holy shit.
EBI guy, right? Or what is he?
Bald. He's this bald dude does Invicta. He does Invicta. He does fucking.
Or not EBI, Submission Underground too, right? Or
he does Submission. No, he does EBI. Yeah, he does EBI too. So Invicta and EBI. But I mean, look, I love jiu-jitsu and everything, but when he yaps his fucking mouth too much. Like, dude, not only are you monotone and boring as fuck, like let the color guys do their fucking job. Don't fucking talk over them. He was trying to. I forgot what match it was at EBI. He was trying to like somehow explain a submission, like a setup for a submission, and that's when they're going, "You have color guys for that, jackass. You do your job. Like, let them commentate. You fuck, like idiot." So hopefully they don't pick him up. But if they do, whatever. I highly doubt they do it though. WME very concerned about looks and all of this shit. He's not if they get Morrow, if they get Prime Morrow away from WWE, gold. That's fucking gold. Get that guy. Why? Because he knows his shit.
Oh, fuck.
But if Jim Rome comes in, he's just gonna ruin shit. And then you know what?
Yeah, his voice murders my ears.
Well, what's funny too is Dana White, when they asked him about that in that scrum earlier, we forgot to talk about it. Like, he already knows the replacement. We don't know shit.
Oh yeah, he knows who it is.
He said he knows who it is. So
it's probably Jim Rome. It's gonna be Jim Rome. So unfortunately, like, don't look him up, Andy. Don't look him up because you'll drive yourself nuts like before it even happens.
I'm not going to. Just
disappointing.
Down.
Yeah, there you go. All right, fellas. It's gonna do it tonight. It's gonna do it tonight for us, ladies and gentlemen. UFC 207 on Friday, not on Saturday, of course. because UFC's not gonna compete with New Year's.
WSOF.
like WSOF is somehow doing. I don't know how they're gonna fill up the arena in New York.
It's not the
New
arena,
York?
is it? It's the side room next to it. It's only about 40 seats in it.
Yeah. Oh shit, that's pretty good.
That's
Well, hey,
true.
look, hey, that's an improvement over the girls' volleyball gym.
That was funny. Yeah.
That
I'll
was
tune in
fucking-
just for Justin Gaethje, known tough bastard. I'm tuning in for Justin Gaethje, and also because I'm a Shields and a Fitch fan. Like him or hate him, I've been a fan of the motherfuckers for years. So
Yeah. All right, fellas. That's going to do it for us tonight. Thanks for watching, tuning in. You can follow Fred Kirby's at Kirby_MMA, Jesse's at Sport1983. Andy doesn't give a fuck. You can follow Dave at Dave's MMA Brief. I'm at Elo31. The page is at Crossbones MMA, and, of course, the MMA Advocates. So you got plenty to follow and all of this shit. We'll catch you guys on the next show. So see you guys later. And you might have
don't forget to tell Fred what his new hairdo looks like on Saturday.
Tweet the shit out of it. Just fucking tweet him right now. Be like, hey man, make sure you get like a nice clean
In fact, if anybody's good at memes and stuff, or
flat top.
Yeah, if anybody's great at Photoshop, already do it. Just put him as a bald.
Flat top.
All right.
I'm calling it.
There you go. All right, fellas. Everyone have a good night. We'll catch you guys next week.